It's Derby Day in Coventry, and welcome to the coverage that will take you through every exquisite moment here at Sphinx Drive. It's Coventry Sphinx versus Rugby Town in the Pitching In Northern Premier League Midlands. Liam Cook with you throughout the next 2 hours to bring you exclusive commentary of what is set to be a barnstormer in Step 4. Let's get you into your starting lineups as that game has just kicked off, with Coventry Sphinx kicking from right to left in their sky blue and white home strip, and Rugby Town in a altered strip of navy shirt with sky blue shorts and socks. So for Coventry Sphinx this afternoon, 2 changes to the sky blue and white lineup. Charlie Wood starts in goal. A back 5 we're expecting of Finley Shorrock on one side, Jordan Hayward on the other. A back 3 of Draper, Nicholson and Burke. In midfield we have Fasani, Downs and Woodward, and pushing up front Harry Wakefield and Kyle Carey. An early free kick for Coventry Sphinx in the centre circle, which Kylan Woodward is going to take in the blazing sun at Sphinx Drive. Throws it in to a dangerous position for Jack Downs, and Downs has snatched it away from the defender. Downs looking to square it. It's out to the edge of the area and blasted away by Cartel Dawkins as Fasani was looking to get in on the action and cushion that for a throw in by Trey Charles into the starting line for Rugby Town. Paul Hathaway starts in goal. 2, Dan Summerfield. 3, Bodie Thistleton. 4, Tyrese Brown. Number 5, Josh Thomas. 6, Cartel Dawkins. 7, Daniele Raker. Number 8, Chris Clements. 9, Trey Charles. Number 10, Kane Elliott. And 11 is Javan Miller. A bumper crowd here at Sphinx Drive. Let's see if the Sphinx can rediscover their form. Burke launches it down the left-hand side for Carey to chase, and Carey has got there ahead of Thistleton. Look at the cut in now from the left-hand side, and just runs it into touch. Goal kick for the home side. If you're joining us after not hearing what went on just up the road, up Jimmy Hill Way, dramatic finale at the Coventry City Stoke City game. Mark Robbins against his old side, managing his new one, Stoke. City 2-0 up at half-time, both goals coming from Victor Torp. Sam Gallagher equalised to 2-2 in the 86th minute, but then a 97th minute winner from Bobby Thomas, giving Coventry City a late victory. Oh, and early argy-bargy there between Kane Elliott and Jamie Draper. Grab of the shirt from... In fact, no, it was Daniele Recca, I should say. So Recca grabbing onto the shirt of Jamie Draper. And Draper none too pleased. Little shoulder barge from the local lad. Well, you can already tell it's got that derby feel. Throw into Kyle Carey. Forced away by Dawkins. Woodward didn't get the connection on that clearance. It's thumped upfield by Dawkins. All right at the back for Nicholson to deal with it. It's gone all the way back to Charlie Woods. Drills it across the back line. Nicholson to Draper. Now Kyle Burke. Urge to drive. And drive he does. Runs into a strong tackle by Cartel Dawkins. Switching the play by Kane Elliott. Over to Javan Miller. Running at Nicholson. Nicholson able to hold him at bay and gets the free kick, dragged down by the arm. And boos from the Butlin Road faithful stationed behind the goal of Charlie Woods. Referee this afternoon is Neil Templey. So Charlie Woods on the right side of his penalty area. Launches it upfield. It's towards the head of Wakefield. Doesn't quite meet the head of Wakefield. Woodward onto it, blasted on by Dawkins, and now Draper's got to try and see it back to Woods, and he saw off the pressure of Daniele Recca into the grateful grasp of Woods. It is, you have to think, a must-win for Rugby Town. A game against Grantham coming up. They win those 2 games, they could find themselves right back in the thick of it. And an awkward ball back towards the goalkeeper in Paul Hathaway, but dangerous time to Tyrese Brown. Wakefield lurking menacingly behind him, and it's out to... Oh, that's a... Javan Miller just shoving straight through Finley Shorrock. Well, I don't think the referee's going to have an easier decision all day. Free kick around 7 or 8 yards into rugby territory. And it's going to be taken by Captain Fantastic himself, the man who bleeds sky blue and white, Callum Woodward. And it flicks off the head of Idris Hussaini and forces the first save of the game from half away. Simple gather in the end from the veteran shot stopper, but not the best of clearances from the Coventry Town legend. Launches it straight into the away end. Nicholson launches it up from the throw. Headed on by Kyle Carey, but straight into the penalty area where Hathaway is the only man standing. Rolled out with Summerfield, long-term rugby right back. Summerfield asking Recker to go along. Recker will give chase. Burke will see it into touch. Recker late on the scene. Well, the pitch at Sphinx Drive should allow for some decent grounded football. For saying that we're midway into March, the surface at the Sphinx Industrial Supplies Arena is pretty darn remarkable for this time of year. 6 minutes gone at the Sphinx Industrial Supplies Arena, 0-0 in the pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands between Coventry Sphinx and Rugby Town. The rugby fans have travelled in their masses from just across the M6. Burke, back where it came from by Josh Thomas. And now Recker chasing in on Thomas's ball and slotted in by Daniele Recker. Naive defender, you have to say, from Coventry Sphinx. Route 1 stuff for rugby, and Daniele Recker reaps the rewards in front of the travelling rugby supporters. Up by Thomas. Recker with a neat first touch, takes on Woods, slots it through the outstretched legs of the former claw number 1, and Coventry Sphinx concede a shot goal just 7 minutes in. Will that be a wake-up call for Coventry Sphinx? It needs to be. It's 1-0 rugby. As rugby fans are saying, one shot, one goal. The first effort of the game. Coventry Sphinx had brought in a defensive recruit in Fortune Mafosa, but Mafosa coming back from a long-term ACL injury and is not able to play today. This is the last thing that Coventry Sphinx needed. And the Sphinx are going to have to do it the hard way. Woods. Wakefield gives chase from the launch up, and Summerfield cushions it out, just about level with the penalty area. Sphinx have the throw, and Shorrock has Kyle Burke on one side, Vasani in front, Wakefield in the area, and it's down line with Kyle Burke. Towards that far post for Burke, headed into the danger zone by Hayward. Here's Jack Downs. Down line with Hayward, Sphinx being forced away from the rugby penalty area, and it's a step-in challenge by the left back, and it's done the job there from Bodie Thistleton and forced it out on the halfway line for a Sphinx throw. Burke's throw, Wakefield the target. Can't get on the end of it, the clearance is collected by Nicholson. Woodward along the right touchline, thumped away by Tyrese Brown. Recker is the target, headed back where it came from by Draper. Woodward scoops it back into Sphinx's defensive vicinity. Kyle Burke fires it into touch on the halfway line. Sphinx already looking like headless chickens out there in the opening minutes. Straight. Away by Josh Thomas. Sphinx are making progress along that right hand side. They've got the throw in. Nicholson's throw. Brown guy's head on it, and Vasani gets the throw in. Thistleton couldn't send the ball out. The throw in to come. Jordan Hay with the space across for Nicholson. Pulls it away from Trey Charles. Nicholson's cross all the way out on the other side. Frustrating times for Coventry Sphinx. The weather's absolutely stunning, but it's not been a bright opening 11 minutes for the Sky Blue and Whites. Summerfield's throw. And straight out by Kane Elliott. Sphinx have got it back halfway into the opposition half. Shorrock with ball in hand, needs options. It's being covered up by Miller. Towards Wakefield. Wakefield flicks it on with a header. Just kept in by Jack Downs, steaming through the challenge. Tyrese Brown throwing given in favour of Coventry Sphinx. Level with the penalty area. Shorrock. Carey sandwiched between Rugby players and dragged down by Cartel Dawkins. No real appeals from Carey. It's cleared as far as Burke. Woodward can only find Cartel Dawkins. They're blasted on again by the Sphinx skipper. Awkward bounce for Wakefield, headed by Thomas. Dawkins straight to the face of Shorrock. Handball appeals, waved away. Wakefield battling forward, but eventually dispossessed. Josh Thomas clears for Rugby Town. Trey Charles. Sphinx opinion has gone out of play. Referee says no. Here's Elliott. Cartel Dawkins. Charles falls back towards the halfway line with Thistleton. Summerfield in acres of space in the centre circle, but they're going back to the goalkeeper Paul Hathaway. Here's Thomas. Javon Miller. Nowhere to go here, surrounded by sky blue and white shirts. Ambitious ball towards Recker, but high into the sky by Burke. Where's it going to land? Headed on by Summerfield. Now it finds Daniele Recker. Knocks it into the path of Burke. Handball claims against Downs again. Referee says nothing doing, but Carter Dawkins no, not as defending. Follows it to Tyrese Brown at the back. Here's Hathaway. More height than distance on that clearance. Towards the halfway line. Woodward heads it on. Turned away by his opposite captain, Josh Thomas, at centre back for Rugby. He's heading back towards Charlie Woods. He launched himself towards Recker. And Charles trying to get to the loose ball. Sphinx doing enough through Jamie Draper. Nervy times at the back for Coventry Sphinx. Carey out-muscled from behind by Dawkins in the centre circle. And Rugby press on again through Javon Miller. Right side of the box. Cuts in. Elliott snatched away from his feet by Idris Hosseini. Sphinx launching it up from the back. That was the tactic against Kozel and Sutton Coldfield. It didn't work those days. It's not working at the moment, but not the best of clearances by Paul Hathaway. But just straight over Summerfield, and it's finished Shorrock. Intercepts for Coventry Sphinx. Burke. Sphinx calm things down at the back with Woods. Burke again. Finley Shorrock. Downs is chasing that long ball, headed across his penalty area by Thomas and back to the keeper by Summerfield. 14 minutes gone at the Sphinx Industrial Supplies Arena, and Coventry Sphinx have not got out of the blocks yet, but Rugby have. They're 1-0 up through Daniele Recker in the 7th minute. Thomas. High one along the right touchline. Headed back where it came from by Burke. Dawkins out muscled from behind by Kyle Carey. Burke. Wakefield backing into Thomas with a handful of shirt. Trying to knock it onto Jack Downs. Rugby quell the pressure. Summerfield. Ambitious ball into the penalty area, but Recker prevented from reaching it by Jamie Draper. In the hands of Charlie Woods now. Excuse me. Charlie Woods. Thomas leaping into the back of Wakefield, but the seconds fall to finish Shorrock. Deflected ball to Kyle Carey. Cuts away from Summerfield. Carey's ball in and swept away by Clements. Wood ducked. Draper scuffs it over to Burke. Burke drills it on to Jack Downs. Out wide with Shorrock. Finish Shorrock's delivery. Desaney at the far post, heads it up and straight out. Trying to keep the move alive, but the cross from Shorrock a little too powerful. Rugby formed all the way back in 1956. Then known as New Bilton Juniors, later renaming themselves Valley Sports, VS Rugby, Rugby United, and finally settling on the name Rugby Town in 2005. They're not the first town to visit Sphinx Drive, 4 consecutive towns at Sphinx Drive. The next one, Grantham, on the 18th of March. We've already had Sutton Coldfield and Coleshill in the last few weeks. Shorrock flicked back to Kyle Burke from Carey. It's a high cross by Burke. Halfway sees it coming all the way, and a confident catch by the long-time Coleshill number 1. Recently moved over to Rugby Town last year. Woodward blasted against Kane Elliott on the halfway line, throw in Sphinx on the far side. And you sort of feel now that Coventry Sphinx are finding their rhythm. Wakefield looks for the through ball to Vaseni, who got the last touch on the way through. It's the referee saying corner. And the referee, I feel he had a better view of it than the linesman did. What's he going to decide? He has given goal kick now. Referee initially pointed for the corner kick. The linesman on the far side flagging for a goal kick. Looked to me as if there was a rugby touch on the way through, but that's why the referees are paid to do what they do. Thomas trotting out of his penalty area. Across to Tyrese Brown. Brown forced into the error by Wakefield. Jaden Hayward a little lethargic in trying to get that ball in. Charged down by Tyrese Brown. And now launched towards the penalty area. And Wrecker, Superman-like punch by Charlie Woods, takes out Wrecker and Draper. It's out for a throw-in. Play will be halted as Wrecker and Draper are still in a heap on the floor. I remind you of what happened last week with Liam Roberts and Jean-Philippe Mateta. Roberts, ironically, a former Rugby Town player, having been loaned from Northampton Town in his early career. Unlike Roberts, Charlie Wood's got a clean touch on the ball. Well, Wrecker and Draper are receiving some help. Let's take you through the latest scores, and they're pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands. There have been a couple of goals. Again, there only are 7 games today. This set to be a catch-up weekend for most clubs. So Rushden 0, Bedworth United 0, Anstey 1, Worcester City 1, Corby 0, Wellingborough 1. Surprise scoreline there at Steel Park. Darlington 0, Boldmere 0, Hinkley 1, Shepshed 0, Loughborough 0, Sutton Coldfield 0. And this is one that Rugby will want to keep an eye on. Lionel Racing Club Warwick 0. And in fact, there has just been a big goal in the relegation scrap as Bedworth have just taken the lead at AFC Rushden and Diamonds through Leo Stone, the former Coventry Sphinx winger. So as it stands, Rugby, despite leading here, will catch up ground on Sphinx, but not the team directly above them in Bedworth United. But still a long way to go. A lot of football still to be played. We've only had 20 minutes. Well, Daniele Wrecker is up. In fact, no, sorry, Jamie Draper is up. Daniele Wrecker isn't. Draper taking some advice from Taylor Swift and shaking it off. Wrecker seems firmly rattled in the head. Of course, when it comes to head injuries, there is no such thing as being too safe. So for the latest scores in the Premier League, now the full-time score from the early kick-off in the Premier League: Nottingham Forest 1, Manchester City 0, denting the hopes of City's hopes of regaining a place in Europe after being knocked out by Real Madrid in the playoffs. And it's still 0-0 in the game between Brighton and Fulham, Palace and Ipswich, and Liverpool and Southampton. And of course, in the Championship, huge result for Coventry City. That's 9 wins out of 10 for Frank Lampard, and a 97th minute winner from Bobby Thomas against Mark Robbins Stoke. And Recker helped to his feet by Charlie Woods, and Recker does not look particularly comfortable. And I think there's going to be an early change here. Indeed there is. The goal scorer, Daniele Recker, ending a barren run for Rugby Town. Just one game in the last 6 has seen a goal for Rugby. That run ended by Recker, but he is leaving the field and coming on. We will tell you in a moment. Subs: Sparks, Francis, Obeng, Roland and Likuti. So Will Rowland dropped from the Rugby side after that 3-0 defeat against Worcester City. Straight back in, replacing Daniele Recker, and you'd assume that Trey Charles is going to take a more prominent role in the Rugby attack. Clements, slightly under hit to Will Rowland. Forced into touch by Shark, well played by the Sphinx left back. Here's Vasani. Cheeky back heel to Shark on this near side, covered up by Summerfield. Vasani switches the play towards Jordan Hayward. Thistleton with his hands all over Jordan Hayward, tried to trick his way through, but was off balance as he knocked the ball past Thistleton straight into touch. We've now had over half of our time in the first half, but the last 3 or 4 minutes have been taken up through that injury suffered by Daniele Recker. Thrown along the left touchline by Thistleton, met in the air by Woodward. Jack Downs only into the path of Kane Elliott, and Elliott sending it upfield, and it's easy pickings. But Charlie Woods between the sticks for Coventry Sphinx, and Recker is still receiving help behind Woods' goal. Has not returned to the dugout. Burke slices off the boot out on this near side for a throw into Rugby, halfway into their own turf. Sphinx struggling to get a foothold. They had a few minutes of momentum before that foul. Summerfield's throw, straight into touch by Draper. And over the gantry for a Rugby throw to be taken by Dan Summerfield. Needs some help in and throws it along the touchline to Miller. Chests it straight over the line under pressure from Kyle Burt. Well worked by the former Boldmere man. Shark wants options. Wakefield couldn't get his head on that one and blasted into the centre circle by Thomas. Charles headed clear by Jamie Draper. Deflected off Downs only as far as Dawkins. Charles free on the far side, behind to Dawkins. Summerfield calling for it on this near side, but it's played short to Thistleton. Dawkins trying to evade catcher from Carey and does so. Summerfield. It's a high one towards Clements and bounced straight off the leg of Chris Clements. Poor control from the Rugby veteran. Thistleton, there's applause from the Rugby faithful behind Charlie Woods' goal as Recker is leaving the field. It looks like an issue with the left arm. Maybe an awkward landing for Daniele Recker. And he is now getting the help that he needs. The best wishes to Daniele Recca for his recovery. So down Summerfield with ball in hand. Gets it back from Elliott. Summerfield blasts it towards Trey Charles. Draper with his header behind. Boland. Heads it, he's just for saying he by Finley Shark and bounces off the floodlight pole for a rugby throw. Just down line from the halfway line. Rugby maintaining possession, but struggling to break Sphinx down at this stage of the game. Throws towards Charles. Rowland steps in with a challenge on Shark and takes it over the line for a Sphinx throw halfway into their own turf. Coventry Sphinx 1-0 down after 26 minutes. There will be a sizable chunk of added time for the injury to Recca. Game of head tears breaking out after the throw-in. Shark allows it to bounce over his head. Rowland battling for to keep it in. He's shrugged up by Shark, and Burke latches onto it and drills it along the left touchline. Wakefield, cheeky backheel to Kyle Carey, and he's kept it in, but the flag is raised against Kyle Carey. It was a risk. But Sphinx trying something new at least. A free kick taken halfway into their own turf by Josh Thomas, the rugby skipper. Towards Rowland, headed out of the penalty area by Finley Shark. Summerfield first to seconds, skips away from Hussaini. Dan Summerfield and sent up towards his own goal by Jamie Draper, and Charlie Woods brings it down without any faff. Hold station allows his teammates to spread out. Summerfield to take it from Rugby halfway into their own turf on the right side. Rowland the target, and Finley Shark caught on the head. Referee says nothing doing. It's deflected out for a throw-in on this near side halfway into the Sphinx turf now. Slow but steady progress for the Valley. Summerfield taking his time. Finds Javan Miller. And Finley Shark to the second round of the FA Cup in 1988 and 1993. The Sphinx will remember them from that titanic battle for the 2022-23 United Counties League Premier Division South title. Rugby leading the way for much of the season, but caught at the death by Sphinx, who snatched the title in the closing weeks. Jack Downs. Challenge in by Thomas, deflects out off Jack Downs just as he looked for the cross from the left side of the box. Everything's going Rugby's way so far. Jack Downs wants to see more from his side. This is a game where the leaders of Coventry Sphinx have to step up and lead this team. There's plenty of potential, plenty of talent. They just need the confidence. Draper, and again, simple things that Coventry Sphinx should ordinarily deal with every day. No doubt about the desire from Coventry Sphinx, but the execution isn't there. And they've got less than 14 minutes of normal time to go. There will be, I would say, a bare minimum of 5 minutes of added time. The injury for Recca was nearly 4 on its own. Rowland asking Trey Charles to chase it, headed back where it came from by Jamie Draper, and out on this near side for a throw-in. Halfway into Sphinx turf, it's going to be Dan Summerfield. Summerfield's throw. Carey leapt for it. It was brought down by Miller, but dispossessed by Finley Shark, and Carey ends the danger for now. Or does he? Headed across the midfield section by Dawkins. Hayward onto it and plays a 1-2 with Harry Wakefield. Here's Jordan Hayward cutting in from the right and blasted off. Hayward, was it? No, it's sliced out by Bodie Thistleton. He thought it took a touch on the way through from Jordan Hayward, but Sphinx have marched themselves into a promising position. The long throw to come in from Riley Nicholson of Coventry Sphinx. Shorrock's there, but it won't reach him thanks to the head of Josh Thomas. Will it bounce out for the corner? No, it's stopped by Rowland. And upfielder Kane Elliott backs into Callum Woodward and pirouettes away with a loose ball intercepted by Jordan Hayward in the midfield. Burke floats it left. It's going to be a losing battle, I think, for Finley Shorrock. Indeed it is. Out for the throw-in right in the corner. Rugby taking their time. Carl Burke wants to see this move progress a little quicker. Summerfield does get us underway. Over the head of Rowland. Shorrock knocks it down for Kyle Carey. Rowland all over him. Carey stands his ground. Now down line with Kyle Burke. Chips it for Finley Shorrock, being held from behind by Summerfield. Referee says nothing doing. Summerfield look for Charles, but cut out by Fasani. Nicholson. Bubbles across the Sphinx Drive turf to Kyle Burke, switching the play. Hayward up for it, but nodded out on that far side by the left back Bodie Thistleton, and Coventry Sphinx now are starting to grab the ball by the horns. Nicholson steps away from the challenge of Charles. Digs onto the edge of the air for Finley Shorrock, but sent high and away. Rowland doing the necessaries from the bench. Burke, headed clearance by Josh Thomas. Short tried to get on the end of it, loses out to Rowland, shoves Rowland down, and now trying to do the same to Cartel Dawkins. Rugby able to survive, and Dan Summerfield should end it. Indeed he does, lofts it clear. Draper heads it up for Burke. Awkward bounce for Burke being shoved aside by Javan Miller. Burke tries to blast the ball through the leg of Miller. Elliott, crossfield ball, the target I think was Clements. But it's Sphinx who stride clear, and Kyle Carey looks to thread the needle for Jordan Hayward, and here is Hayward, covered up by Thistleton. Low cross trickles towards the centre-back in Tyrese Brown, who sends it straight into the William Knibbs Memorial stand. Hathaway was saying, leave it, I've got it. Where Brown had left the ball, Hathaway would have it in his hands by now, but in fact it is Coventry Sphinx who have the ball in hand and a chance to force an equaliser through Nicholson. Wakefield was up for it, but couldn't get a clean contact. It's behind to Rowland, and a swift clearance towards Charlie Woods on the edge of the area, and Woods claims it. Burke curls it along the left touchline, but over the left touchline. Callum Woodward telling his players to liven up. The first 35 minutes for Coventry Sphinx, I think everyone will agree, has not been good enough. Summerfield throw headed up by Miller. Draper, and in with the shoulder there was Rowland. Referee giving the free kick to Coventry Sphinx. Draper, rough and ready, gets straight back up. Woodward giving his marching orders, and Finley Shorrock urged to offer support, but he's going to go long, I believe. Callum Woodward, Mr. Coventry Sphinx. Was he going all the way towards Paul Hathaway? Downs tried to flick it home. But Paul Hathaway latches onto it and ends an intriguing set-piece routine for the Sphinx. Hathaway slices it to Summerfield. The right back on to Javan Miller. Summerfield makes the overlap, but the ball played in front of Dan Summerfield, and a throw-in for Coventry Sphinx. Shorrock urged against rushing it. Takes some time and now looks for Harry Wakefield, backing into Thomas. Can he beat Thomas for pace? No, he can't. Thomas gets the ball between his legs. Tries to sprint away from Wakefield. But the clearance straight to the feet of Jack Downs. Can't find his way for a sea of navy and sky blue. Dawkins And now Miller just barged off possession by Jamie Draper as it trickles back to Charlie Woods. Burke. Dawkins first to it, but Downs gets his body between player and ball. Burke. Carey tried to pirouette, and Summerfield plays it out off Finley Shark as he slides in with the challenge. Impassioned instructions there from Carl Burke telling his players we need more movement. We're not going to win anything if we don't move. Sphinx still 1 down with 7 minutes of normal time to go. Rugby desperately need the points, but as it stands, Rugby won't get any points on their main rivals Bedworth as they are winning at AFC Rushden and Diamonds. But slowly but surely, Coventry Sphinx are being sucked back into that relegation scrap, the one thing they didn't want to happen. Burke kills it far post towards Jordan Hope, being held by Thistleton. That's held him up long enough for Trey Charles to get on the end of it and clear. Nicholson to Idris Hosseini in the midfield for Coventry Sphinx. Trying to evade catcher from Clements, runs straight into Trey Charles. The bouncing ball lobbed on by Callum Woodward. And here's Jordan Hayward on the right side. Thistleton trying to prevent his inroad from the right-hand side. Hayward into a more central location. Now Callum Woodward. It's a lofted ball to Shorrock. Cushion down for Kyle Carey. Takes it too close to Roland, and the youngster plays it along the right touchline all the way out for a throw-in deep into Sphinx half. He couldn't have got that much better. Kyle Burke will take the throw-in halfway into Sphinx territory. Need some options. And straight to Summerfield and deflected out. Was it kept in by Burke? Yes, it was, but straight to Hathaway. Hathaway down the centre of the park. Nicholson's header. Headed up by Draper, on by Hosseini, back to Downs. Downs looks for Wakefield. Wakefield charges down the intended clearance of Tyrese Brown and barges Brown off the ball. And it's a throw in right side of the area for Coventry Sphinx. Jordan Hayward throws to the feet of Kyle Carey. Hayward down line with Riley Nicholson. Short one to Carey. Nicholson again. Sphinx being forced away from the rugby penalty area. Woodward gets them back on the front foot. Carey looking to judge the ball before he could cross it. It was just poked away by Trey Charles as he looked to whip it in from the right. Ends up back with Charlie Woods for Coventry Sphinx in goal. Nicholson. Long range ball. Bounces towards Clements, who deals with pirouettes away from Kyle Carey. Charles. Volley back into the danger zone by Callum Woodward. Carey, and he was looking to set up Harry Wakefield, but it just bounces away from the Sphinx striker and into the hands of Hathaway. Wakefield and Carey so integral in that amazing run at the turn of the year, and they just haven't looked themselves in recent weeks. A big part of why Sphinx haven't been picking up the results. Shark with the ball in his own backyard. Long throw. Headed on by Wakefield. Deflected over Kyle Carey, and Thomas will head back to Hathaway. Paul Hathaway. Neat control on the far side by Charles on the left wing. But Thistleton trying to get it away. It's hit straight to the chest of Jordan Hayward. Wakefield calling for it. Wakefield draws in the foul. Tyrese Brown stretched the leg in and tripped on the right corner of the penalty area. And Coventry Sphinx with a rare opportunity. Shark, Callum Woodward, and Harry Wakefield sizing up their options. Surely has to be a direct effort on goal. Sphinx's chances have been few and far between in the opening 42 minutes. It's Wakefield! Certainly had the power behind it, but just flashes past the post. Goal kick, 2 minutes of normal time to go. Again, there will be plenty of added time due to the injury to Daniele Recca, who left the field in an arm sling after an unfortunate collision with Charlie Woods. Let's go for the latest scores in the pitching in Northern Premier League Midlands. Bedworth maintain their 1-0 lead at AFC Rushden Diamonds. Worcester have equalised at Anstey Nomads. It's 1-1 at Anstey. Corby have equalised at home to Wellingborough. Corby 1, Wellingborough 1. Plenty of goals going on at Darlington. Darlington 1, Boldmere St Michael's 2, Hinckley 1, Shepshed Dynamo 1, Loughborough 0, Sutton Coldfield 0, and Lye 0, Racing Club Warwick 0. And that is a game that you feel Lye Town will fancy their chances in, but as it stands, they're not taking advantage. Rugby are. They lead by 1-0. The 7th-minute goal from Daniele Recca is the difference. Burke. Carey in a congested midfield. Holds off Kane Elliott. Woodward. Down the wing for Finley Shark, and he's just got there. Taking on Dan Summerfield. It's Shark, options at the far post, swung away by Brown, and it falls out to Jordan Hayward, cannons off the leg of Thistleton. Carey looking to put it back in. Kyle Carey, across the face of goal, turned away by Thomas. Woodward smacks it off Elliott. Carey can't get involved, he's in an offside position, he'll let it go for a corner. Rugby building a brick wall in front of Hathaway's net. Callum Woodward. Sphinx have grown into this game towards the end of the first half. Will it come too late? Corner straight onto the roof of the net. And that's his normal time over, according to my watch. We've not been informed how many. Well, 5 minutes, see? Listen to the commentator. I said 5 minutes, it will be 5 minutes of added time. Stoppage for Recca, as we said, took around 3 minutes, 2 for everything else. 5 minutes sounds about right, doesn't it? Awkward one for Thomas at the back as to swing it away from an on-rushing Harry Wakefield. Hooks out on this near side, Sphinx throw around 10 yards into their own turf. It's half-time, coming at the wrong time. Burke to Shorrock. Floats it towards Wakefield. Thomas gets on the end of it, and Fasani on the volley. Drifts to the right. Coventry Sphinx, although not getting the shots on target, they're finally giving something to think about to rugby. And there's been a goal at the Loughborough University Stadium. Sutton Coldfield have just scored. Loughborough 0, Sutton Coldfield 1. Let's have a look for the latest scores in the Premier League. Brighton 1, Fulham 1, Crystal Palace 0, Ipswich 0, and a shock scoreline at Anfield. Liverpool 0, Southampton 1 through Voldemort's doppelganger, Will Smallbone. Trey Charles looks for the through ball to Rowland, turned away by Burke. With a bit of help from Burke, Sharks on the end of it. Nodded on that clearance by Wakefield. Look for Carl Carey. First to it is Dan Summerfield. Rowland, Dawkins, quick passing in the midfield. Keeps the move alive for Rugby. Blasted down the right-hand side. Burke should be the one to get there and does. Hooks it along the right, but only as far as Dawkins in central defensive midfield. Plays a 1-2 with Rowland. Scuffs the cross towards the penalty area. Headed out by Callum Woodward. Kept alive there by Trey Charles. Charles looking for a route across. Lays it off for Will Rowland. Dawkins. Heavy touch from the pass from Rowland. Fasani able to slide it away. Kyle Carey. It's a tall order for Wakefield to get to that ball on the near side, and it bounces over the line. Rugby throw. And we've had 2.5 minutes of added time. Throw headed on by Shorrock, Dawkins, and blasted out by Rowland. And Shorrock wants to take it quickly, but the referee repositions Finley Shorrock. Fasani slightly under hit to Finley Shorrock. It's just kept in by Shorrock. And Downs, he does take it over the line this time. And Tyrese Brown indicates the referee that the one that Shorrock tried to keep him went out. It looked to me as it was ever so slightly in. Half-time whistle coming in the next 90 seconds. Throwing headed back where it came from by Shorrock. Carey pirouettes away from Rowland. Woodward. Onto Jordan Hayward, first time ball only as far as Thomas. The captain blasted away towards Trey Charles, and Shorrock caught in the face by a flailing arm from Trey Charles. The referee has to stop play, surely it's a facial injury. Well, it's actually launched out by Tyrese Brown for a throw into Coventry Sphinx, and JC, the Coventry Sphinx physio, is rushing over to give some help to Finley Shorrock. That's not going to raise his TikTok career. And Jack Downs, unhappy that the referee hasn't given a foul in favour of Coventry Sphinx for the blow to, I think it was actually Ronnie Nicholson, not Finley Shorrock. And the referee giving Downs, in no uncertain terms, a last warning for dissent. And Nicholson is going to have to leave the field momentarily. And the travelling rugby faithful behind Charlie Woods' goal will be the happier heading into half-time. You see Sam Lockley in conversation with John Woodward, finally back in the squad after several months out. Throw in by Jordan Hayward. Wakefield's header on. Carey tried to thread it in to Jack Downs. Rugby survive for now. Burke to Fasani. It's behind Finley Shorrock and out on this near side for a rugby throw-in to be taken by, in fact, Rowan's going to leave it now for Summerfield, I believe. Indeed he is. Well, Sphinx needs some belief. They need an injection of belief in the second half. The throw-in from Summerfield straight to the Sphinx back line. Burke. Woodward shoved up the balls, he clears. Dawkins, his lofted pass headed away by Jamie Draper. Jordan Hayward takes on Thistleton. And Thistleton's clearance deflects off Jordan Hayward for a throw-in in front of the away dugout. Ian King, the rugby manager, will be far happier than John Woodward. Once again in sole charge of Coventry Sphinx with Sean Thomas. This time, not work commitments, he's enjoying a few beers in the Alps. He's trying to get too off-piste. And the referee blows for half-time, and Coventry Sphinx really in need of some new ideas and a new approach, because the first half simply did not cut the mustard for the Sky Blue and White. A frustrating opening 45 minutes, capped off by the opening goal by Daniele Recca after some hesitant defending for the Sky Blue and Whites. Recca then taken off field with an apparent injury to the left arm, leaving in a sling. But Coventry Sphinx have got another 45 minutes to go, but they need improvement and fast. Half-time score, Coventry Sphinx 0, Rugby Town 1. Big second half coming your way. The Sky Blue and Whites of Coventry Sphinx down 1-0 for a 7th minute goal through Daniele Recca. Also, note on Recca, who was taken off around the 20-minute mark. We are being told it's a suspected broken arm that Recca was withdrawn for. So, of course, we send our best wishes to Daniele and wish him a speedy recovery. Although, in all seriousness, if it is broken, it probably is the end of his season. A very sad way to end the campaign for the young striker. Sphinx now kicking from left to right in their sky blue and white stripes with navy shorts and navy socks. It's the all way around for rugby in navy shirts with sky blue shorts and socks. No changes, what we can see at half time. So it's as you were as we get ready for a vital 45 minutes. Rugby definitely need the points more than Coventry do, but Sphinx can really end any lingering relegation doubts if they can win this afternoon. But as usual, they're doing things the hard way. Here's Miller on the left-hand side, looking to duck through a combination of Draper and Riley Nicholson. And Nicholson's doing well to shield the ball in the area, turns and clears as far as Clements. Turns away from Carey. Behind to Thistleton. Ducks away from Jordan Hayward, and the ball, it was looking for Javan Miller, but it flies past Miller and into the hands of Charlie Woods, the Sphinx number 1. Burke. With a through ball to Wakefield, off balance. It's Thomas who skews it high into the sky and in towards the new housing estate on the far side of Sphinx Drive. So a throw in halfway into rugby territory. The Sky Blue and Whites in command of the ball. Can they command the scoreline by the end of play? Here's Nicholson. Downs. Hayward on the right-hand side, cutting in. Taking it a little closer, Kane Elliott. Now across to Burke. Kyle Burke playing a higher line in this second half. Burke looking for a lofted ball into the area, but no one home for Coventry Sphinx, and it's out for the goal kick. Sphinx on the road for the first time in 3 weeks. This time in 7 days. Sky Blue and Whites against high-flying Worcester City, who, despite their impressive position, have been a bit hit and miss. And Kyle Burke a little too unhappy with Will Rowland, trying to get too close to comfort with him, backing into the Sphinx centre-back, shoves him to the ground as Hathaway takes the kick. Desaney cushions it down for Callum Woodward. Downs will get chased down the right-hand side, just a little too powerful, a bit too quick for Jack Downs to collect, and it will be a goal kick for Rugby Town. It wasn't a particularly pretty first half from either side, it must be said. Speaking to the Sphinx fans behind the goal at the break, appears that Jamie Draper was the man tasked with clearing the ball. And the goal came for Rugby Town. It's no point in pointing fingers at this stage. Sphinx have a game to win. And yeah, I've got money on the line here because myself and one of the other rugby fame will have a pact. Whoever wins gets a pint. And I'd like to keep my pints to myself, if that's okay. As Draper heads straight in towards the crowd next to the gantry. Always pays to bring a crash hat to an away day at Sphinx Drive. So throw in 10 yards into Sphinx territory, be taken by Thistleton. The rugby left back, Clements, and feels a foul throw. It wasn't the best. And the return ball to Clements rolls off the shin of Thistleton. A throw for Coventry Sphinx now, just shy of the halfway line. Nicholson, jet-propelled throw. And a free kick, Coventry Sphinx, a little too much pushing and pulling from behind. From Tyrese Brown on the right corner of the penalty area. Coventry Sphinx with the opportunity, and there is a change incoming for Coventry Sphinx in the next few minutes. It looks like Harvey Smith is getting ready. Good, Sphinx be going 2 up top. Woodward towards that far post with Burke, headed back in by Shorrock. And Vasani on the volley, turned away by Thomas. Carey thought about hitting it first time, lobs it right for Hayward. Will Hayward get there in time? No, he won't. Well, the change will not happen just yet, but it is definitely Harvey Smith coming on. He's been on the Sphinx books for a few weeks now after training with the club to gain some fitness. Another striker on the bench in Sam Lockley. Move towards Ronnie Nicholson. Woodward. Headed away by Tyrese Brown. Burke on the end of it. Now Hayward trying to steady himself for a run at Clements, and Clements grabbing onto the shirt of Hayward and sending him to the deck. Referee says nothing doing, and Sphinx trying to restart the move. Downs quickly closed down. Kyle Carey couldn't get going, and now to Burke. Rolls it left. Lucky one. That's got to be a free kick for Coventry Sphinx, surely, as Rowland lands on the back of Finley Sharrock, and it's the end of the afternoon for Jack Downs. He's being replaced by Harvey Smith. So Harvey Smith on for Jack Downs in what seems to be a change in formation. Awkward one for Thomas at the back, nearly gifting it to Harry Wakefield, but able to avoid disaster. And Javon Miller racing down the right hand side, hand in the back of Jamie Draper as he tried to beat the young defender to the ball, gives away the free kick, and Sphinx can regroup at the back again. And Liverpool, what a quick turnaround. They were 1-0 down at half-time against Southampton. They're now 2-1 up through Nunez and Salah. That's what champions do. It was looking increasingly likely they are going to be champions. Charles finds Javon Miller on the far side in front of the Willie Nibbs Memorial Stand. Down line with Cartel Dawkins. Thumped on by Summerfield. And Charles, in acres of space, didn't get the first touch right, and Nicholson able to bring it back to Sphinx control. And at the back, Josh Thomas has to hug it clear of Harvey Smith as Sphinx launch it upfield. It's a desperate battle for position in the midfield. Woodward slides it off Kane Elliott. Here's for Saney. Nicholson urged to drive and does. Ronnie Nicholson for Coventry Sphinx looks for the through ball of Jordan Hayward. It's deflected through to him. Hayward brought down in the area. Referee says no, it was an off the ball incident. But Finley Shark on the volley hits the standing leg of captain Josh Thomas. Hayward impeded from helping with the attack once the ball had gone. Burke in, Hayward at the far post, and nutted behind by Chris Clements for another Coventry Sphinx set piece, this time a corner. But it could have been more. Finley Sharrock. Sphinx building momentum in this second half. It's Sharrock! Hathaway came to claim and punches it wide for another corner. Swaff with the side, Swaff with the taker. It's Woodward this time. Nodded clear by Tyrese Brown, kept alive by the header of Jordan Hayward. Sharrock looked to return to Jordan Hayward, but slid out by Miller. And Hayward going for a Gunnarsson special, as we call it in Coventry. Towards that near post, Hayward flicks it on, headed out of danger by Rowland. Kyle Carey. Through the centre circle to Jamie Draper. Everyone back for rugby. Outside a fan out a little as Draper plays it across to Nicholson, who can play as a fullback too, so he's no stranger to heading forward. Just wrong foot Smith with a totally clearance by Elliott, straight back to Nicholson. Carey being manhandled by the number 6, Cartel Dawkins. It's back with Callum Woodward, floated right. Jordan Hayward, low cross, deflected down for a Sphinx throw of the standing leg of Bodie Thistleton. But this is much more like it from Coventry Sphinx. Good attacking play. This is what we wanted to see. The question is, can Rugby live with it? It's Nicholson in this time with the throw. Headed straight back to sender by Tyrese Brown. With a bit of help from Hayward, it's back to Nicholson. Jordan Hayward trying to steady himself for a shot at goal perhaps. It's Hayward racing out to block is Brown. Rugby standing firm and protecting this precious, precious lead. Carey holds up long enough for Shorrock to send it in, but it's sent flying into the car park via the roof of the turnstile area. Reminder, Rugby have already made their first change of the afternoon with Will Rowland replacing the injured Daniele Recca, who we were told at half-time has a suspected broken arm. Scored the opening goal in the 7th minute after some lackadaisical Sphinx defending. Sphinx missing the chance to clear. Cleared by Hathaway. Draper up for it. It's collected by Fasani. Fasani tries to smash it through Clements and scooped over Clements by Kane Elliott, who's playing a deeper role in the second half. Returns to centre from the throw from Thomas. And again, as Smith tried to get it in. Swung clear by Kane Elliott. Burke couldn't bring it to feet in the centre circle and has to chase it in his own back line. Put up the pressure by Javan Miller. Burke sends it on. Wakefield, the target, headed straight out by Summerfield in front of the Willie Nib stand. Jack Downs, a dejected figure on the touchline, having been replaced in the 50th minute. Coming up to the hour mark now at Sphinx Drive, it remains Coventry Sphinx 0, Rugby Town 1, but they've got another striker on in Harvey Smith. Looks like he's taking the main striking role with Wakefield moving out to the wing. Kyle Burke to Callum Woodward. Switches the play, looks for Jordan Hayward, but cleared by Thistleton under no real pressure. Trey Charles sends it high towards Miller. Enough on it by Draper to find Burke, but Burke looks for Carl Carey, cut out by Cartel Dawkins, but great work by Carey to bring it back. But under hit to Callum Woodward, and they're back to square one again. Here's Cartel Dawkins racing through the midfield, runs into the path of Finley Shark, avoids capture, and now it's down the road with Miller. Well, I think it was a tried a first time cross by Dawkins, didn't connect with it cleanly, and Nicholson receives a knock mid-air from Trey Charles in the penalty area. Free kick to the Sphinx. It's taken quickly by Charlie Woods. Headed off the shoulder of Harry Wakefield. Shot tries to keep it alive, and diving swan-like header by Summerfield. Into touch, and I think it's been given as a free kick. In fact, it has, yes. Wakefield a little too enthusiastic behind. Still 4 changes apiece for both teams, and Sphinx are going to make their next one, and it's Joe Blowers getting ready. And Blowers is going to replace, well, we won't find out yet, as Hathaway takes the free kick. Shorrock wins an aerial duel. Now it's with Kyle Carey. Smith the target. Smith charges in on Summerfield. No nonsense tackling from Harvey Smith. Through ball for Wakefield, catches the former Nuneaton man off guard, and it's collected by Paul Hathaway, the veteran number 1. But Sphinx are going for this. They're making their second change any moment now. Joe Blowers, the former Coventry United captain, spent time with Wellingborough Town and Boldmere St Michael's this season. What impact can he make from the midfield? I would suggest it's going to be Idris Fasani making way. Carey looks for Jordan Hayward. Hayward's going to go some to get there. Did he knock it out off Thistleton? Yes, he did. Jordan Hayward, well worked. And it's Finley Sharrock who's heading off the Sphinx. It looks like going to 4 at the back. So, apparently a change in formation for Coventry Sphinx with wing-back Finley Shorokov and centre midfielder Joe Blowers on. It's Nicholson's throw, Smith up for it, couldn't connect. Overhead kick by Dawkins. Out as far as Carey, not allowed the room to strike. Wisely so by Rugby. It's upfield towards Javan Miller, the overlapping run made by Rowland, and here is the young substitute, Will Rowland down the right-hand side for Rugby, looking for Trey Charles, it's too close to the goalkeeper. It was an interesting ball from Will Rowland. But Woods quick to it. Aside from the goal, neither of the goalkeepers has really been tested. Charles gives chase down the left-hand side, flag stays down, he'll just get there in the left corner. Covered off now by Jamie Draper. Thistleton in support, Draper forces him back. Deflected, looking for Kane Elliott, but it's Woodward who clears. Wakefield putting Brown under pressure and draws the throw in deep into Rugby territory. And Coventry Sphinx now are finally making an impact. Throw to Harvey Smith, to his strike partner in Harry Wakefield. Covered off by Dawkins and Brown. Trying to find Harvey Smith, it was poked out by Dawkins, another throw-in. Redhead, Percy and Lockley still on the bench for Coventry Sphinx. Nicholson, as Sphinx trying to pry away a lead that Rugby are so desperately clinging to. Smith's up for it, headed up rather than out. Woodward couldn't claim it, Dawkins can. And a free kick. As one of the Rugby players has gone down clutching his head, I'm not sure who it is. Is it? I think it may well be Josh Thomas, the captain. Indeed it is, he's back on his feet. And the free kick wasn't given, in fact it was stopped for a potential head injury, so the referee is going to get us underway again with a drop ball. As it stands, Coventry Sphinx would move down to 17th. A lot of sides down in that relegation zone vicinity are winning. Boldmere, Shepshed, Bedworth, and of course Rugby all winning. And Rugby, as it stands, would be just say 3 points behind Bedworth, but would be 8 points behind Coventry Sphinx. Although Sphinx have played a game less. Also Wood already relegated. Grantham not in action today, but surely their time in step 4 is done and dusted. They're on 16 points with 9 games to go. Clements latches onto the attempted clearance. Nick Cruyff turn and into the area now for Rowland. Deflected through the penalty area and Joe Blowers takes it on. Oh, Blowers has given it away on the edge of the area. Kane Elliott. Summerfield! Brilliant fingertip save away from the left corner by Charlie Woods. Blowers tried to kickstart the counter, couldn't quite tip it around Kane Elliott. Summerfield picked out top bins, but Charlie Woods returning to type, returning to form with a picture-perfect save. Coming up to the 20-minute mark in the second half. Plenty of hustling and bustling in the penalty area as Rugby look to craft some space and try and get the second goal. It's straight to Charlie Woods from the corner. A poor effort from Rugby. Straight down the eye of the park by Charlie Woods. It's going to go straight to his opposite number 1 in Paul Hathaway. A bit of a waste for Coventry Sphinx. Hathaway throws it behind Thistleton, but Thistleton thinks quickly and is on the ball, driving down the left-hand side and blasted through by Callum Woodward. Deflected that off Thistleton. That's a derby tackle for you. And Sphinx have got the throw in deep into their own half. There is more quality about Coventry Sphinx and there's more changes coming. Who's coming on next with the Sphinx? Throwing headed back where it came from by Tyrese Brown. And again, Elliott battling with Fasani in the centre circle. Fasani out-muscles Elliott. Rolls it left for Jordan Hayward. He's now playing it left back with Nicholson on the right. Hayward tries to play through a congested midfield, and it's Dawkins who prevents it from reaching Harvey Smith. And now the other end, it's with Javan Miller on his own here, back into Draper as he waits for reinforcements. Draper brings him down the area, dragging down Miller by the arm. Referee immediately waves away protest, and Miller can't believe it. Carey, as Jack Redhead is getting ready on the bench. Carey, has he picked out Joe Blowers? No, just shy. Bounces to Paul Hathaway with Blowers just a yard or two behind. But a great idea from Sphinx's current top scorer. Did that touch the arm of Trey Charles? No, it didn't, according to the referee at least. Chest control by Miller on the edge of the area. Miller! 2-0 Rugby! Woods denied Rugby with an astonishing save a moment ago. He can do nothing to deny Javan Miller from adding Rugby's second of the game. And the Valley have real hope of avoiding catastrophe. The catastrophe of relegation at the end of the season. A precious, precious victory could be on the way. They failed to score in 5 of their last 6 games, but they've hit the back of the net twice this afternoon. The first one can be put down to some miscommunication at the back for Coventry Sphinx. That one is just sheer attacking pedigree from Javan Miller. And Rugby Town, with just 23 minutes left, are surely on the road to victory. And Jamie Draper's leaving the field, and he's going to be replaced by Jack Redhead. It's all or nothing now for Coventry Sphinx. Rugby lead by 2 goals to 0. And it's proving to be another afternoon of frustration on home turf. This home triple header, which was supposed to ensure that Coventry Sphinx would not be looking over their shoulders come the end of the season, has in fact dragged them straight back into the dogfight. And Rugby, of course, still have to play Grantham Town, one of only 2 sides below them. Sphinx with a hard trip to Worcester coming up next week. Sam Lockley is preparing for Sphinx's 4th change. They may as well throw the kitchen sink at Rugby now. They've got nothing to lose. And Sphinx get the throw in their backyard, deflected out off Javan Miller, I believe. It's Hayward. Harry Wakefield. Wakefield looking for an option down the left-hand side, but drifts over the white line for a Rugby throw deep into their own half. So Summerfield will take the throw for Rugby. Hayward wins the throw in. Joe Blowers asking a lot of Harvey Smith. He's racing towards it, but Joe Blowers' ball is a little too heavy and straight to Hathaway. Charles tips it away from Redhead. Elliott brings it straight into the path of the Sphinx substitute. Now Woodward. For Smith. for a Coventry Sphinx throw-in by the head of Tyrese Brown, which Woodward wants to take quickly. It's behind to Riley Nicholson. Burke, should have been a simple ball to Jordan Hayward, but turned away by Will Rowland. And the switch of the play finds Trey Charles, the top scorer for Rugby. Nicholson steps in for the challenge, but the cross is straight to the hands of Charlie Woods. 20 left at Sphinx Drive. And with sides around them winning, it's looking like a disaster for Coventry Sphinx. Clements clears. Fasani battles through Kane Elliott. A shove from behind on Callum Woodward by Chris Clements. Referee says no. Dawkins with a trip on Jack Redhead on the left side of the centre circle. Coventry Sphinx have got the free kick now. Lockley's introduction is coming momentarily. Sphinx need all the help they can get here. Woodward, and the free kick bounces straight through the penalty area. Away onto the halfway line. Fasani claims it mid-air. Headed back where it came from by Summerfield. Fasani again. Brown bounces through the midfield and Miller sending Elliott on the run down the right-hand side. Charlie Woods will gather. That's off the deck from Charlie Woods up towards Smith. Headed clearance by Tyrese Brown. And Charles will beat Woodward to it. Slide in by Callum Woodward, still kept it on the line by Trey Charles. Flicks it onto Clements to the feet of Trey Charles. Brilliant work from Rugby. You've got to admire that. And bounces to Rowland. Oh, he thought about it. He thought about the long range spectacular. Sizing up the bounce, but he takes it all the way into the corner now. It's a little early for that. But he's got the throw-in out of it. The challenge from Burke takes it over the line. We've still got 17 minutes left. So that tactic of taking it into the corner is far too early from Will Rowland, but it's got the job done. And Rugby, who of course have only made one change so far, sending their subs for a warm-up. We see Savannah Oben going for a trudge down the touch line. The next Sphinx change is imminent. Well, the next Rugby change is imminent. Actually, as Kane Elliott is in need of some assistance from the Rugby physio. Francis, Sparks, Obeng and Lakuti on the bench, and it looks like Austin Sparks will be the man to come on for Rugby Town. Sphinx are going to hold off on their change with Sam Lockley coming on. That is going to happen, I believe, the next time the ball goes out of play, but Sphinx obviously don't want to make a change when they're defending a set piece. Yeah, it looks to me as if Kane Elliott's afternoon is done. Austin Sparks replacing Kane Elliott. In their first non-injury enforced change of the afternoon. Clements on the ball as Rugby look to wrap it up. Woods comes and claims it. And kicks it straight out, looking for Kyle Carey on the right flank. Touches it away from Thistleton. Takes it into the corner, now needs some support. Kyle Carey, low ball into the area, turned away by Summerfield. Throw in level with the box for the Sky Blue and Whites. And here comes the change. Idris Hosseini is going to be replaced by Sam Lockley. Substitution for Coventry Sphinx. Please show your appreciation for number 4, Idris Hosseini. Replaced by number 17, Sam Lockley. Sphinx are starting to find some momentum. Is it coming too late? Well, it's bad news for Grantham and Lye as it stands. If we look at the current league table, Grantham will be left on 16. They seem, at the moment, cast away at the bottom of the table. Lye on 23, Rugby, I should say, on 26. Bedworth on 29 and Sphinx on 34. So Sphinx's lead will be cut to just 8. Sphinx tempted to bring on Joe Percy. I haven't seen him warming up. Hathaway over the head of Charles. What a stop! That was great control by Ronnie Nicholson. Onto the chest of Rowland and hit the arm. As he tried to chest control it, referee immediately gives the free kick to Coventry Sphinx. Taken sharpish. Redhead. Here's Callum Woodward. Trying to trick his way through Dawkins. Woodward lost it towards Harvey Smith. Brilliant save. Right on the line by Paul Hathaway. Smith at the goal. His mercy couldn't quite get the power behind it. It's back in towards Smith. And deflected out of Harry Wakefield. Those are the chances you have to take. Smith got the accuracy. It was rolling straight towards the bottom corner. As he stretched to it, he couldn't get the desired power behind, allowing Hathaway to launch down to the right and just tip it away. Desperate times, desperate scenes for Coventry Sphinx. Nicholson wins the aerial duel with Miller. Redhead, crucial header away by Tyrese Brown. Smith latches onto it on the right-hand side. Carey, quick footwork, covered up by Dawkins. Smith found again by Blowers. Rugby trying to keep Coventry Sphinx at bay, and they're doing so for now. That second goal seems to have been the killer. It's in the area for Joe Blowers. Swept across this near side, and Smith will put it back in. Cleared the near post with the head of Thomas. And Smith will see it into touch for another Sphinx throw. Relentless pressure for Coventry Sphinx. Woodward into Blowers. Harry Wakefield tried to smash it in the near post, but launching at the ball, putting his body on the line. The Rugby captain, Josh Thomas. Five to go. And Sphinx's future in this game looks more and more bleak by the minute. Woodward bounces across to Smith. Heads it on to Burke. Has it found its way through? No, stopped on the line. Sent high to the sky by Thomas. And Hathaway brings it down. Hathaway, exactly the kind of goalkeeper you want in this situation. He's been through these scenarios time and time again through his long non-league career. It's thrown out by Hathaway, short to Thistleton. Going long to Trey Charles. Nodded across the back line by Nicholson. Redhead. He's going long towards Wakefield. Brown keeps it at bay. It's back into the midfield with Jordan Hayward. Redhead blasts it off Rowland, and it will fall to Trey Charles on this near side. Closed down by Kyle Carey. Holds possession well. Here's Clements on the halfway line. Dawkins. Nicholson stretches to stop it. It was towards Austin Sparks in the left corner. Redhead forced back to the goalkeeper in Charlie Woods. It goes left from Woods. Bounces past Summerfield. And now Jordan Hayward takes a tumble. Referee says nothing doing. And launched out. It's out of play. Will it be a throw-in? I think it will be. Throwing Coventry Sphinx level with the box. Wakefield backing into the defender. Blowers with him. Wakefield. Crossing cuts now for Hayward. Corner it will be. Summerfield does the necessaries. Cushions it out. Everyone up for Sphinx except for Charlie Wood. Everyone, bar none, back for rugby. Woodward. Return to sender by the head of Sparks. Woodward again takes it too close to Dawkins. Redhead retrieves. Charlie Woods. Straight down the line of sight of his opposite number one and Hathaway juggles the ball. And we'll waste some precious seconds. 2 minutes of normal time to go. Hathaway tells Miller he's got time. Well, he's not got the ball. Bounces straight past him. Here's Kyle Burt for Coventry Sphinx. Great touch from Smith from the long ball. He's come closest for the Sphinx. Alas, the Sphinx have not come close enough. Hooks the cross in, but it's diverted away by Thomas. Back into the danger zone by Woodward. A towering header by Brown out on this near side. Nicholson with the run-up. It's over Smith. Brown. Woodward on the volley. Callums with the back of Clements. Another corner will follow, but still no cigar for the Sphinx. And Joe Percy's going to come on for the last few minutes. It's over Nicholson. Can Burke retrieve in the corner? No, he can't. It's just over the line. And Sphinx will make their 5th and final alteration. It's Kyle Burke coming off. So yes, as we've just confirmed here, Bedworth have been leading all afternoon in their game against AFC Rushden Diamonds. They've been down to 10 men since added time in the first half. But in the 98th minute, Ethan Johnston has drawn AFC Rushden Diamonds level. An unbelievable result for rugby. An incredible day for Rugby Town. Live failing to win. Bedworth failing to win. Coventry Sphinx obviously failing to win. They're clawing themselves back towards safety. That's cleared by Woods. Roland. Smith puts his head in a dangerous position. He's come out with the ball. Blowers. And Jordan Hayward pinballs off the captain, Josh Thomas. Coventry Sphinx have the corner, but surely they haven't got enough time to get 2 goals. Woodward with haste to whip it in from the left. Brought down by Hathaway. And with 15 seconds of added time left, you have to feel that's it. Hathaway, as the referee checks the watch. Play continues for now. Obeng heads to the chest of Nicholson. Redhead. And the referee ends the afternoon at Sphinx Drive, and a massive, massive victory for Rugby Town, only made sweeter by the news of a 98th minute equaliser for AFC Rushden Diamonds in their game at home to Bedworth United. Life failed to score as well. Life failed to win. No game for Grantham. And of course, Coventry Sphinx don't make any ground up either. It is the perfect Saturday afternoon out for Rugby Town. But for Coventry Sphinx, it's back to the drawing board. Another home defeat. This home hat-trick of fixtures has been an utter disaster for the Sky Blue and Whites. Some hours on the training ground, some new tactics, some new moves surely in store for the Sky Blue and Whites after a disappointing day. But they still have that 8-point gap over the relegation zone. Rugby still have work to do, but they will now start to believe as we enter the nitty-gritty, the business end of the season. Ian King absolutely jubilant with his side's performance. Final score at the Sphinx Industrial Supplies Arena. Coventry Sphinx 0, Rugby Town 2.